Alright, so I'm going to get this video out now, mostly because I don't want to really talk about this game, but I'm just going to kind of do it anyways. But, alright, first and foremost, the Eagles' defense was horrible. That first half, if the defense of the Eagles actually stopped the Lions for at least one touchdown, they win the game. Secondly, the referees and the amount of penalties that the Eagles had committed. By the start of the third quarter, we had 10 penalties. That's unacceptable, not to mention the fact that your offense is moving, but you can't keep, like, you move your offense, but then you choose to do certain plays that don't help your offense move anymore, and you stall. It was just terrible. The first quarter, you can't score a point. You should have been at least 7-14 in the first quarter to keep yourself in the game. By halftime, it was 21-10. By the fourth quarter, it's 23-21. We're somehow managing to win this game. We get these fumbles and we get these 3-and-outs forced on the Lions, and you'd expect us to get touchdowns. We don't get touchdowns. That is something that you can't have. Not to mention later on in the game, Ryan Matthews fumbles the football. He has his ball on the inside hand where he, goes in with his shoulder. He had the ball in this shoulder that gets hit, and the ball goes rocketing out, almost out of bounds. But instead, the Lions pick it back up, and they win the game on the field goal. And then Carson Wentz, he's trying to do too much with what he has. He tries to force a long ball to Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar not really open, and it's a pick. His very first pick cost the game. Not necessarily his fault. He shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. This whole entire game was a complete mess. You expect this team to come out and play with a lot more fire, with a lot more, a lot more consistency, and they don't do that. Especially in that first half, it was just a terrible, terrible game. Way too many penalties, and I'll tell you this, about half the penalties that were called on the Eagles, they were not penalties, and penalties that were taken back were penalties. It didn't make sense. These referees were terrible. Carson Wentz made a hell of a... He played a great game. With what he had, how the defense was playing, he played as best as he could, and he did really well. Honestly, I don't give him any credit for the interception. He was just trying to do something for his team to win the game. It didn't work out. He shouldn't have been in that position to begin with. This game should have been a win, like, from the get-go, But all in all, I mean, the 3-1, it's not terrible. It's just the fact that we're the first team in the NFC East to go in that bye week. At week 4, Giants, Redskins, Cowboys go on byes, week 6, 7, and 8. It's not going to end up well for the Eagles. The Eagles, on the I believe the next 4 games off the top of my head, they go to Washington, they come home to play Minnesota, then they go to the Giants and Cowboys, and then I think they come home for the Packers, then they go to Cincinnati, and then they go to Seattle. So, we never expected this team to go 3-0. We never expected this team to play as well as they did. But it just kind of stings because, if you guys can remember, probably can't forget, Thanksgiving 2015, my bad. Thanksgiving 2015, we got blown out by this team in the same exact stadium, same exact team, same exact head coach. We got blown out. This is the same exact team, nearly the same exact players, and we were getting blown out to start off the game. We did manage to make a comeback. We did manage to win, or at least make it look like we were going to win, but Ryan Matthews made a silly mistake, and I think that they should not have given the ball to Matthews in that situation. They, 2, shouldn't have ran it outside. They should have kept it going inside. It's 3rd down and 2. You're at, around midfield. You should have just ran it up the gun with Kenyon Barner, Wendell Smallwood, or Darren Sproles. Give Matthews a break. Matthews had a really good game up until that fumble. Other than that, Ryan Matthews played really, really well this game. I was proud and happy to see what he did. But in the end, he cost the game. I feel Darren Sproles should have been in there. I feel he should have ran it up the gut. You've seen a lot of running plays from Darren Sproles this game where he ran it up the gut for 10 or more yards. You should keep up with that strategy. Or go to the left. You have a lot more room on the left to work with. And if you have Darren Sproles, Kenyon Barner, or Wendell Smallwood, which we saw barely anything. We saw nothing from Kenyon Barner or Wendell Smallwood. We saw nothing from them today. We should have seen more from them. We saw against Pittsburgh how freaking good they were. And the only reason they're out there is because Ryan Matthews was injured. and they just should have kept rolling with them because they are very, very good and explosive running backs. And they didn't do that this week, and it's a big reason why we didn't win the game. Penalties are just terrible. And Green Beckham, this is like fourth quarter to ice the game, or to take the lead 24. I believe to take the lead 24-21. It's like 3rd down and 9 at like the 20 or something like that of the Lions. Wentz throws the ball to Green Beckham in the end zone. He has it. It hits him right in the chest, and as he's going down, he drops it. If he catches it, we win, and we don't have to, or at least it will tie it up. The Lions will tie it up in the end, but it was just a lot of mistakes and a lot of terrible calls on the referee's side. There's still a lot of good that came from this game. It's a learning experience for Carson Wentz. They got that one interception out of the way. We don't really have... You don't have much to say. You don't have to, always be on that bandwagon of Carson Wentz because he hasn't thrown an interception. That's just one turnover, There's going to be more to come. He's a rookie. I can't put all the blame on him. I don't put any of the blame on him. A lot of it has to do from decisions that the coaches made, to the referees, to the penalties, and just terrible defense in the first half. The second half, the defense looked really great up until that very last drive where the Lions marched down the field after the fumble to get in within the 5-yard line and nearly score a touchdown, but take the lead and win it. So a lot of good came from this game. It was really horrible. It would have been nice to see us come back to Detroit and take the win, but you can't win them all. We're not the best team. We're not supposed to be the best team, at least. But this can help us improve. We have a tough game coming up at Washington. Then we come home to host Sam Bradford and the Minnesota Vikings. So we got a lot more on our plate. We can't let this one game get us down. I may be upset. I may not be the happiest, but I'm taking this game as a learning experience. And I know Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson are. I know that entire organization is. So you can only expect. Things can either go better or they can go really worse, and we're playing a team that we can never win at, and it's at Washington. We haven't beaten Washington since 2013. We need to make a change. So, yeah, that's all I have to say. The Eagles, they let one get away from them, but I mean, what can you do? You can't win them all. Congrats to the Vikings. The Broncos are playing right now. The Cowboys are playing right now. The Redskins won. The Giants play tonight. So Eagles right now are tied for first. If the Cowboys lose, the Eagles are in first. If they don't lose and the Cowboys win, they're in first place. So it's a tight division, and it's not like we're all negative teams. We're actually all pretty decent teams for once this year. So this is going to be a good year. I still have playoff hopes for the Eagles. Not Super Bowl hopes, playoff hopes. So, yeah, I'll talk to you guys tomorrow night with a Super Bowl video. Super Bowl is back. Season 2. It's going to be fun, and I can't wait to see you guys. I can't wait to watch it. See you guys tomorrow night. Have a good day.